Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Fortunes. Now, last week we had our first real big scorers of the week, our first hat-trick, and a couple of players that really underperformed as well. So let's have a look at the fixtures for this week and see what we make of them. The first game of the game week then is the early kickoff on Saturday lunchtime, and it's got the underperformers in it. And I'm not talking about West Ham. West Ham drawing 0-0 away at West Brom, that's overperforming, if anything. I'm talking, of course, about Tottenham drawing 0-0 at home with Swansea City. A very disappointing performance for them, especially for fantasy managers like me who had Kane as a captain, so cheers for that, Harry. But you have to think it's going to be a whole different kettle of fish playing away from home. They won't have the pressure on them this time. And Harry Kane loves a London derby. He scores a lot of goals in London fixtures, and you have to think it's going to be like that again this week, unfortunately. The only way I can see West Ham really getting a result is maybe if Lanzini comes back into the side. He's nearing fitness, but I don't really want him to be rushed back, but you can see him being rushed back for such a big fixture, and if he has an absolute blinding performance, then maybe we could squeak a result. But with the formation we're playing at the minute, I don't think it looks too likely. So you'd have to say the usual suspects from Tottenham really. Harry Kane obviously drew a blank in the last game. You have to expect him that he's not going to go two without a goal. Christian Eriksen, you think, is probably going to be the one setting them up. And when you come to the defence, it's a bit of a tricky one because Ben Davies is the one you want, because he's been doing very well. He's quite cheap, and yeah, he's really been their standout defensive player so far this season. But then all of a sudden he gets dropped, and Son comes in playing left wing back, which is a bit strange. Didn't work for them, so maybe Ben Davies will be back in the team. If you want to gamble on that, I probably will be. But if not, then you've got to go for the right back option in Kieran Trippier, really. Up and down that sideline, looking to get in behind a reasonably susceptible West Ham defence. Now, the second fixture is not a very exciting one, I grant you that. It is Burnley playing at home to Huddersfield Town. Now, Burnley had a very impressive 1-1 draw away at Liverpool. They've been playing very well away from home this season, but back at home you'd like to think they're going to carry on that form and probably keep a clean sheet against Huddersfield Town, who struggled to form chances against West Ham a couple of weeks ago. So if you're looking at clean sheets, you're looking at Ben Mee. He's the cheaper option. They're all about 4.5 to be honest. Stephen Ward playing on that left hand side, he gets forward quite well. He could be points, but then especially in goal, Nick Pope, only a £4.5 million goalkeeper. Very cheap, had an absolute blinder against Liverpool, and you'd like to think he's going to be keeping a clean sheet and making a fair few saves on the way. I can't really see Huddersfield performing very well in this one. I think they're going to struggle away from home in the rest of the season, so I would just stay away from their players. But if you want a cheap option, probably Tom Ince is your guy. So the next fixture is looking at Everton then at home to Bournemouth. Now, Everton have been getting smashed left, right and centre all over the place this season, and really going for a torrid time of things. But you'd like to think that if there's a fixture that's going to get you back on track, it would be a home fixture against Bournemouth. But Bournemouth have finally got their first points on the board, got a win against Brighton at home last weekend. Away from home, again, they might struggle, but I think there's going to be goals in this one. I think you're looking at probably a score draw, maybe Everton just pinching it if they're looking to bounce back from a run of poor performances. If you're looking at Everton players, the only two I can really see are going to definitely perform. It's going to be Rooney, probably. He looked very likely again against Manchester United, and he's always an option in that centre attacking midfield position. He does look very likely in all games for Everton. And Gylfi Sigurdsson, of course, it's only going to be a matter of time before he starts delivering again in the Premier League. Once I think they get him and Rooney playing together sorted out, and this is going to be the perfect opportunity to kind of tinker with that a little bit and get those two both playing freely. If we're looking at Bournemouth players, the one player that you have to look at is Jermaine Defoe. Obviously poached a goal on Friday night, and if something falls his way, he's going to be scoring. And Jordan Ibe as well came on, really changed the game for Bournemouth in that Brighton game. So you'd think that he'll be getting the start this weekend, and he'll be a good cheap midfield option. So the next game then is massive for fantasy managers all over the world. It's Man City at home to Crystal Palace. Man City scoring goals freely so far this season, smashed Watford 6-0 away at the weekend. Crystal Palace, no points, no goals, useless. So this is a home banker all the way, goals galore. I mean, it's got to be right. It can't be anything else. It's the kind of thing that now I've said it's obviously going to be a Crystal Palace 1-0 away win, because I've said that Man City are absolutely going to smash it. But you can't look past Man City absolutely smashing them, surely. Don't make me look stupid again, Premier League. So anyway, I'm saying chuck them in there. You're four people, you've got to get in there. I mean, obviously you can't get four, but whoever you can afford, 3 out of these 4, even if you just stick 2 in. Sergio Aguero, Gabriel Jesus, Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva. That's it, that's your money right there. Those 4 players, get them in. Your captain's got to come out of one of those 4. Otherwise, you're an idiot. So the next fixture then is Southampton at home to Manchester United. Manchester United put another 4 goals away at the weekend. Again, doing their usual pattern of scoring a goal reasonably early on and then kind of sitting it out until the final 10 minutes and then really piling on the pressure and making it look a lot more comfortable than it is, to be honest. Southampton struggling to score goals. The only team they've not struggled to score against have been these guys, but what can you say, that happens. So yeah, you'd have to think that Southampton are really going to struggle to score in this one as well, and maybe another 2-3-0 Man United performance, with that sounding a lot more comfortable than I think the game's actually going to go for them, but I think they will edge it. And then you've got your usual suspects. You've got Mkhitaryan assisting, started scoring goals now, filling in that role that Pogba's left obviously with his injury. And Lukaku, regardless of how well I think he's playing, he's still scoring goals, so you've got to put him in because he's just a surefire bet for a goal really, if something falls his way. And then I really want to put Martial in there just because he's so consistently doing things off the bench, but I mean, he's such a risk to put in, but I want to, but I won't, because he either won't come off the bench this week or he won't come on and score, because I've said that he will. Moving on then to Stoke playing Chelsea. Now Stoke have, yeah, they were very disappointing at the weekend, but they were very good at home the week before that, so I think as you expect with Stoke, they're going to be a completely different obstacle at home as they are away. Chelsea looked quite uninspired really against Arsenal. It was a good Arsenal performance, and Chelsea just really struggled to break them down. So I don't think this is any means going to be an easy game for Chelsea at all. I think they look susceptible to the odd goal, and I think if someone's going to score it, it's going to be Shaqiri. Looks like the kind of guy, because he's just capable of, for someone who's like 5.9 million, he's just capable of pinging it with anywhere from his left foot, and you know he's not afraid to take a shot on. Other than that, it's a bit difficult to see where the goal's going to come on. There's no real consistency in that Stoke side, although they are playing well at home. And then moving on to Chelsea again, you've not got players that are consistently performing. The only player that's been consistent has been Morata. And that only works if you stick a ball on his head, which nobody did at the weekend. Playing at Stoke, are they going to have to go a bit more direct? Maybe, so Morata could be your option, but that's a bit of a risk for me. And this week, I'd probably stay away from the Chelsea boys. The next fixture is a very difficult one to call in my eyes. We've got Swansea playing at home to Watford. Now Swansea are obviously going to be buoyed by that result away at Tottenham at the weekend. Watford obviously got absolutely smashed by Man City, so they're going to be a bit downhearted, but they're also going to want to react, and playing Swansea, they're going to see that as a big opportunity to react. So again, I'm going to go for this as kind of a both teams to score kind of situation. If we're looking at Swansea, it's got to be Tammy Abraham. He's the only person who I'm seeing putting in that 100% and looking likely to cause defensive troubles. He can create something all by himself if needs be. So the other people, I said Boney's not found his way back into the starting lineup yet, and I don't think he's found his match fitness. Renato Sanchez just turns out is just terrible. So yeah, ignore why I ever said anything about him, he's useless. And then looking at Watford, again, the only player from Watford really that's been consistent is Doucouré in the middle. Not afraid to have a pop, box-to-box midfielder, and it could be the kind of game that will suit him, try and open up that defence, maybe get himself an assist or a goal. But I can't really advise you put anyone else other than those two in, because I don't think anyone else has been good enough. We finish off the Saturday then with quite another tricky game to call. We've got Leicester playing at home to Liverpool. Liverpool were obviously disappointed to be held by Burnley at the weekend. Leicester, I think, disappointed to be held by Huddersfield at the weekend. So when you look at this game's going to be very, very open, I think. Both defences looking quite shaky this season so far, especially Liverpool's. And Liverpool's mainly from set pieces. If you're looking at someone from Leicester who's going to exploit those set piece weaknesses, it's going to be someone like Maguire to get his head in it and make a nuisance of himself in the box. But also Jamie Vardy, I can see him just cutting apart that Liverpool defence, so I'd definitely get him in there. And if you are looking at set pieces, then obviously Riyad Mahrez is going to be the one delivering them, but I'd say Vardy over Mahrez in my opinion on this one, because also he's going to be on penalties as well if that happens. Liverpool, there's only one player really that I put in there, and that's going to be Mohamed Salah. He's constantly in trouble, so much pace to get in behind, creates a lot of chances even if he doesn't necessarily finish them. But you never know when someone else is going to be there to mop up his scraps. So yeah, again, I'm going for both teams to score in this one. I'd say go with the strikers, stick in your Vardys, stick in your Salahs if you fancy anyone from this game. Now on Sunday we've got one game, it's Brighton versus Newcastle. Again, not a massively exciting fixture, a fixture that would have been a championship fixture last season. Brighton have started to score goals, not playing that consistently, not playing that well though, it has to be said. Newcastle are a team that again are struggling to score goals, but they're looking very, very, very defensively strong, and Jamal Lascelles is just carrying them over the line in these games. So if you're going to look at a result from this one, again it's going to be one goal either way, I think, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle managed to nick this one with a 1-0 as well. So if you're looking at Newcastle players, it's going to be Jamal Lascelles, because I don't think he can score 3 games in a row, but you never know, stick him in, he's the form player and he's not too expensive being a Newcastle defender. And then going forwards, Christian Atsu and Matt Ritchie. I'd probably go for Matt Ritchie. He's definitely the more consistent of the two when it comes to how he's going to play over the space of a season, if you're going to have him in there for a long time. So he's definitely the Newcastle forward I'd whack in. If you're going for Brighton, I still can't say I really know too much about their squad, other than that guy called Gross did some things in one game. So maybe stick him in because he's cheap. But yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't really fancy any Brighton players to be particularly outstanding in this one. The final fixture then is on the Monday night, and there's Arsenal playing at home to West Brom. Now, Arsenal had a very, very good performance against Chelsea. Unlucky not to win that game, in my opinion. But West Brom are the kind of team that Arsenal struggle at. Very big, physical side, looking to bully them about, cause them a bit of trouble from set pieces in the box and stuff. So it could be a potential banana skin for Arsenal, but I'm going to say that I think Arsenal will be in for a comfortable win at home, maybe a 2-3-0. And if you're going on performances from the weekend, definitely. Lacazette found himself in the right place a lot of the time, but with the wrong finish. I can't see him miscuing that much again. Aaron Ramsey in the middle, he actually had a very good game. And he's only 7 million as well, so he's actually quite a cheap midfield option, so he might be good for a going forward attacking option. And then the two wing backs actually had a very, very good game. Bellerin gets a lot of critique for his final ball into the box, but that was absolutely on point at the weekend. Unlucky not to get himself a couple of assists. And Kolasinac down the left-hand side is just such a unit. He's going to get up and down that side. He's not afraid to have a shot. Very, very, very powerful left foot on him. And you like to think that he can maybe cause them some troubles, get himself an assist or maybe even a goal. As you can see then from my predicted team of the week, is absolutely jam-packed with it's basically just a Man City squad, to be honest. You've got to chuck in whatever players you can forward from them. Your captain's got to come out of there, in my opinion. You'd expect them to absolutely smash Crystal Palace. Elsewhere, got a few Newcastle players dotted around there. I think Ramsey could be a very good shout for this week. And Burnley, goalkeeper, Nick Pope, even if you've just got a spare transfer and you want to stick him as your backup goalkeeper, I think he'll be a real point scorer as a backup goalkeeper this season. And then, like I said as well, a few Tottenham players, I think they'll find it reasonably comfortable in the London derby on Saturday at lunchtime. And those are my fantasy fortunes for game week 6 then. I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit of a taste for this season now. My points, my personal points have started to climb a little bit as well, so hopefully I'll be working my way up that table sooner rather than later. As always, leave me a comment and let me know if there's anyone that you think I've missed out, any glaring options that you think will be big scorers this week, and also who you think will be a good choice for captain, and whether you lose any of your little bonuses or anything like that, your bench boost, your triple captain, anything like that at all. And I say, as always from me, I'll be back here next week giving you my fantasy fortunes.